Every day when we open our eyes, we're faced with a choice to stay where we are or move forward towards something bigger, something unknown. In that subtle moment lies the power to completely transform the course of our lives. But between the comfort of the familiar and the uncertainty of the challenge, which path do we choose? Many of us try to avoid discomfort as if it's an obstacle to be dodged. But what if I told you that discomfort is actually the gateway to real transformation? Those uncertain times, the ones that make us hesitate and doubt ourselves, are exactly where discipline finds its most fertile ground. It keeps us standing, gives us focus and direction when everything around us seems chaotic. Discipline, then, is much more than just a routine. It's the invisible foundation that holds us up. It's what keeps us going, even when the world is telling us to stop. And what if you started practicing it now? What would change tomorrow? With each disciplined act, no matter how small, we build a stronger version of ourselves, one that is more connected to the purpose we're seeking. And this is where the journey truly begins. Imagine for a moment that discipline is a bridge that connects us to something beyond ourselves. It's not just about doing what needs to be done every day, but about understanding that each step brings us closer to a bigger purpose. In the midst of chaos and uncertainty, when the world seems directionless, discipline offers us clarity. It shows us that no matter how small our actions may seem, we're constantly shaping the future we desire. In daily practice, there's a spiritual depth we often ignore. Discipline resembles a ritual, something we do not just with our bodies, but with our souls. Meditating, reflecting, acting consciously, all these disciplined acts are ways to reconnect our essence with what's most elevated in us. In times of discomfort, discipline is what keeps us aligned and centered, even when circumstances seem to pull us off course. It reminds us that we are building something greater than the momentary challenges make us believe. Every disciplined act today is a seed that will sprout tomorrow. It is through discipline that we find balance and purpose, even in the storms. Discipline is often mistaken for rigidity or stubbornness, but in truth, it's a profound act of faith. Faith in the process, faith in life, faith in a future that we can't yet see clearly. When we commit to discipline, we're declaring to the universe that we believe in the path, even when the results aren't visible yet. Think about those moments of doubt when we wake up without energy but choose to keep going, like athletes preparing for marathons or creators pushing through a block. This trust in the process, even in discomfort, turns discipline into something more than just repetition. It becomes an act of surrender, of believing that the effort we put in will bear fruit in due time. And this faith, cultivated day by day, strengthens us, giving us the resilience we need to weather the storms. Discipline is faith in action, a visible demonstration that we believe transformation is coming, even if we can't see it yet. At first glance, discipline may seem rigid, almost inflexible. However, as we practice it, we realize it doesn't confine us, but rather sets us free. Paradoxically, it's discipline that gives us the flow to navigate life's challenges more harmoniously and effortlessly. When we choose to practice discipline, we're creating a structure that, instead of limiting us, opens space for life to flow more naturally. It teaches us to handle life's ups and downs without getting lost in the circumstances. Imagine discipline as the banks of a river, guiding our flow with direction and purpose. In times of difficulty, when the temptation to give up is strongest, it's discipline that gives us the sense of control over our actions, even when the outside world is beyond our grasp. Every disciplined act is like learning a new dance. It starts out stiff, but soon becomes fluid as we incorporate the rhythm. And so, life becomes lighter, more balanced, even in the most challenging moments. When we think of discipline, we often associate it with external forces, goals to achieve, deadlines to meet, expectations to surpass. But true discipline comes from something much deeper, an internal motivation. This motivation isn't based on recognition or immediate results, but on the desire to grow and improve, even when no one is watching. On days when discomfort feels overwhelming, when circumstances seem to conspire against us, it's internal motivation that keeps us on track. It's like an internal fire that burns even when the outside world grows cold. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't require giant leaps. It builds through small, consistent steps, even if the results aren't immediate. Each disciplined act strengthens our connection with ourselves and our purpose. And internal motivation is the fuel that powers these steps, making each one meaningful. If you've ever overcome small daily challenges, you know that's where true strength comes from. Day after day, this practice becomes a virtuous cycle where motivation and discipline feed each other. Discipline isn't just an exercise of mental or physical strength. It's also a spiritual practice, a way of training the soul. In moments of discomfort, it's easy to focus on the pain or immediate challenge. But it's in those moments that discipline reveals its transformative power. It strengthens us from the inside out, preparing us to face and learn from every difficulty. When we maintain discipline in times of adversity, we're cultivating resilience, not just the kind that keeps us going, but a spiritual resilience that makes us grow and evolve through challenges. Every obstacle faced with discipline is not just an external victory, but a strengthening of the soul. This discipline practice connects us to a source of inner strength we often overlook. By maintaining discipline, we create deeper roots in our essence, developing an unshakable faith in our ability to overcome any obstacle. Discomfort stops being an enemy and becomes our greatest teacher. True prosperity isn't just measured by external success or material achievements. It's something deeper, more essential. Prosperity, in its essence, is the balance, the harmony between body, mind, and spirit. And discipline, when applied consciously and consistently, is what leads us to this state. In times of discomfort, when everything seems to be falling apart, it's easy to think that prosperity is far away. But it's precisely in those moments that discipline makes all the difference. Through it, we connect with our true strength and find the flow we seek. Prosperity emerges when we learn to master our inner world, not just our circumstances. And so, by applying discipline in every aspect of our lives, we discover that it is the key to real prosperity, the kind that manifests both in external results and in the inner peace we feel knowing we're on the right path. Discipline, then, is much more than a simple habit. It's the solid foundation that allows us to thrive in discomfort, a connection to something greater that pushes us forward, even when the world around us seems to be pulling us back. Every disciplined act is a small step towards the flow and prosperity we seek, not only in our goals, but in our inner balance. And it's this balance that opens the doors to new opportunities, new challenges, and new forms of growth. Now, with this new understanding, you are ready to take your discipline to an even deeper level. And if you haven't watched it yet, our last video, Master Your Body and Mind Now, is already available on the channel. There we explore how true discipline connects mind and body, creating a powerful harmony that elevates not only your daily practices, but also your entire life. So, if you want to learn how to master your actions and thoughts more effectively, this is the next essential step. Because at the end of the day, mind and body are interconnected, and discipline is the link that binds them together in harmony. Watch now and discover how discipline can transform not only your habits, but your entire being.